Going Places by A.R. Barton. Going Places is about dreams and fantasies, which are the natural outcome of a teenager's life. Adolescence is a period when one visualizes only roses and that too without thorns. Weaving fantasies and wallowing in them can also land one into problems. Fan following, craze for one's idols in the latest hype, but to be misguided and lose touch with reality is not acceptable. Sophie is the central character of the story. She belongs to a lower middle class family, but dreams big. She is a simple adolescent girl, and she is in her last year at school. She is earmarked to work in a biscuit factory. She is a daydreamer. Jancy is Sophie's close friend. Her nature is in sharp contrast to Sophie's daydreaming. She is very practical and close to reality, and she balances Sophie's hero worshipping, daydreaming, living in the world of fantasy. Jeff is Sophie's elder brother. He is an apprentice mechanic. Unlike Sophie, he is grounded in his reality. He is very evasive and reserved. His silence is his hallmark. Sophie herself feels that words had to be prized out of him like stones out of the ground. Sophie's father, he is a hard-working person. He wants to provide better facilities to his family, but feels helpless due to paucity of resources. He is a very practical person, and he doesn't even humor Sophie by believing in her cooked-up story of meeting Danny Cassie. Danny Cassie is a young Irish prodigy, and he is playing for the team United. Dreams and fantasies are a natural and an integral part of our life. Without them, life would lose its meaning. They acquire a prominent place in the life of the adolescents who view life as a bed of roses and spend most of their time in the world of their dreams. Sophie dreams of opening her own boutique or becoming an actress or fashion designer to earn big money. She loves to drift into the world of her fantasy and is keen to make her dreams a reality. Like most youngsters, she idolizes Danny Cassie, a football player, and hero worships him, thinking that life would probably smile on her one day and she could also become a celebrity. Coming home from school, Sophie tells Jancy of her dream to own a boutique after leaving school. Jancy draws her to the reality by telling her that it called for a lot of money. Sophie thinks she would manage, but Jancy expresses her apprehension that it would take a long time to save so much. Sophie immediately refuses to give up her dreams and thinks she could plan her savings while working as a manager. Jancy wants her to realize that she couldn't get the position straight away. Sophie again starts dreaming of her boutique, which she thinks would be the best of its kind in the city. Jancy sees the reality. She knows that they are earmarked to work in the biscuit factory. She wishes that Sophie would not be carried away by her pipe dreams. She wants her to be sensible and practical. Sophie's father wishes she would buy a decent house for the family in case she lays hands on big money. Derek, her younger brother, retorts, saying money doesn't grow on trees. Her mother sighs at her daughter's dream. Sophie feels herself choked in this atmosphere. Jeff is her refuge from this unpleasant ambience. Sophie tells Jeff of her meeting with Danny Casey in the arcade. Jeff refuses to believe her. Sophie shares her secret, saying she met him at Royce's window. She cooks up details about his physical appearance to make Jeff believe the story. Jeff shares the story with Dad. Both wave off her story as unrealistic and discuss the skills of Danny Casey as a player. Sophie's father warns Sophie of landing herself in trouble someday with such wild stories. Jency also comes to know the secret. Sophie is startled to find that Jency knows of her meeting with Danny Cassie. She makes attempts to cover, but fails. Finally, she admits to Jency that she met the celebrity. Jency knows Sophie's daydreaming nature and refuses to believe her. She tries to cover up by saying it was all incidental. Jency assures her that she can be trusted and leaves. Sophie's family goes to watch the match. Sophie, her father, and Derry sit down near the goal while Jeff sits higher with his friends to watch the match. Danicacy plays extremely well, exhibiting Irish genius. He scores the second goal for United. He guides his team to victory. Sophie's father, Jeff, and Derry expresses their happiness and celebrate the victory. Sophie tries to live her poetry. She waits for Delicacy at her favorite spot along the canal, away from the din and rush of the city. She considers it is the best place for a date. She is still in the world of her dreams. She imagines Cassie coming along the river and her own excitement thereafter. She finds herself struggling between her dreams and the reality. She tries to balance prospects of his coming with the prospects of his not coming. Her thoughts make her feel sad and miserable. Sophie wonders how she will face her family members, especially when no one believed in what she had said. She is not ready to accept the reality. She doesn't want to carry the burden of her sadness. She imagines Jeff's disappointment when she tells him that Danny didn't come. She though sad, but she doesn't want to give up her dream. She dreams of meeting Cassie again at the Royces. In his meeting, she tells him what big fans of his she and her family are. She imagines asking him for the autograph once again. She feels his presence, his closeness in her imagination, and is enthralled to think that he is also only human. Though a prodigy, a genius, she fails to come out of her romanticism and gets lost in the memories of the match, the only time she had actually seen her hero in person. Sophie is picturing Cassie outside Royce's for the second time, shows the poignancy of her imagination. Her fantasizing is so lifelike that she visualizes all the nuances of her hero's voice and expressions vividly. She transports herself to her make believe world without bothering about what others have to say about it. She didn't want others to doubt her, as they always did. She was still not ready to resign herself to the harsh reality. Dear students, there are some questions to revise the chapter. How does Sophie include her brother Jeff in her fantasy of her future? Did Sophie really met Danny Cassie? Why did Sophie dream of having a boutique after leaving school? What kind of world did Sophie envision for herself? The story Going Places takes us into the world of dreams, which is fictional and a creation of mind. The fact or the reality always stands up in sharp contrast to the dream world. This story beautifully brings out this contrast through Sophie's character. This story this beautifully brings out that dreams and reality are poles apart. It is difficult for the two to meet in life.